Senior, if you don't want your good bro to know that you are bothering me, then come to QQ Hotel, room 301 tonight. Senior, I like you too. Can you come to my house for a chat tonight? Please stop bullying me. Is it not enough that I agreed to be your girlfriend? But it has to start with holding hands, okay? I stared blankly at the dozens of messages on my phone, trying hard to recall what exactly happened. It turned out it was last night. I texted the campus belle to express myself after drinking too much, but I accidentally sent it to everyone in my contacts. Everyone else replied to me. Only the campus belle didn't reply. Just when I was thinking about how to explain it to them, the campus belle, Su Qingshui, actually came to my door. Chen Jie, come out, I need to talk to you. Since my parents were at home and it wasn't convenient, Su Qingshui took me to a small grove in the park. Watching her enchanting figure, I can't help but imagine our future together. I've even thought of names for our children. But she suddenly pulled out a gleaming kitchen knife and held it to my throat. I jumped in shock at this scene. What the hell, what are you doing? Su Qingshui looked at me with a cold smile. That text message was deliberate, right? I nervously swallowed and thought, it's just expressing my feelings to you, right? At worst, you could just ruthlessly reject me. Do you really have to kill me over it? But I know that arguing at this point is useless. So I gathered my courage and said, I did intentionally send it to you. Su Qingshui, upon hearing my response, raised the knife high and was about to chop at me. I really want to thank you for making me get tortured by my parents all night. Get ready to die. I quickly took a step back. Wait, this must be a misunderstanding. You clearly know that I don't have a phone at all. That phone number belongs to my mom. How dare you intentionally send that kind of message? Tell me, where did I misunderstand you? I stared blankly at the furious Su Qingshui in front of me. Only then did I realize I had traveled back to my high school days at 28 years old. However, when I just returned to the past, I had already gotten drunk at a friend's birthday party. Since waking up today, I had been feeling dazed. It wasn't until the kitchen knife in Su Qingshui's hand was held against my neck that I finally came to my senses. A memory from the past also surged into my mind. Although Su Qingshui came from a very privileged background, her parents did not allow her to use a phone in high school. They didn't allow her to own a phone. The number I had saved in my contacts was her mother's phone number. Thinking of this made me panic. I instantly felt like there was a huge danger sign over my head. I hurriedly smiled and explained to Su Qingshui, the one I said I forgot to save is my aunt's number. Do you believe it? At these words, Su Qingshui's expression darkened further. Do you think I would believe that? At this moment, I felt that the knife's blade flashed with a sharper gleam. I was drenched in cold sweat. So, I slowly backed away, eventually leaning against a large tree. Am I really that unfortunate? To be threatened right after being reborn? What a fool, ha ha ha. Su Qingshui looked at me, who was in a panic. She finally couldn't hold back. She burst into a pleasant laugh. Hey, stop just laughing. Be careful with the knife in your hand. Although I knew she was just kidding, I was completely scared. This girl must be a bit clueless. How dare she handle a kitchen knife like that? After Su Qingshui had her fill of laughter, she finally obediently handed the kitchen knife over to me. Chen Jie, you're over 1.8 meters tall. I didn't expect you to be so timid. I thought to myself, speechless. Who wouldn't be scared with a knife held to their neck? Then I changed the subject. Looking at the sweet smiling Su Qingshui, I said seriously, actually, I'm not teasing you. What do you mean by that? Actually, that text message was from me last night. I got a bit drunk and accidentally sent it as a group message. Many people received it, and the real person I meant to send it to was only you. Then I took a deep breath. I looked into her eyes and said earnestly, Su Qing, I like you. After saying these 7 words, my heart suddenly felt incredibly melancholic. The confession that was over 10 years late has finally come. Upon hearing my confession, Su Qingshui's eyes were filled with disbelief. She was dazed and stared blankly at me. Seeing Su Qingshui's reaction, my expression twisted slightly. This is not the big failure of my confession. At least give me some reaction. But the next second, her face turned even redder. A hint of shyness and confusion appeared in her eyes. What does this slightly shy expression of yours mean? I have seen countless people confess to Su Qingshui, but everyone was turned down by her card. It wasn't a not wanting to date card. It was just a focusing on studies card. This made the cautious version of me in my past life never muster the courage to confess to her. Returning to high school, I also wanted to experience being turned down. But the current situation seems a bit off. After a stalemate for a while, Su Qingshui finally spoke up. Chen Jie, you know, I don't want to date for now. I have other things I want to do. Ding dong, the not wanting to date card has been issued successfully. Now, that's a relief. I let out a heavy sigh. This is the real you, Su Qingshui. Then I smiled and nodded, saying, I know you've always wanted to make money, right? Su Qingshui was very dedicated to making money in my past life. She even handed out flyers and worked part-time jobs at first, until just before my rebirth. Her net worth had already reached 9 figures, and she had remained single since birth. Su Qingshui nodded gently at my question. She lightly nodded. My mind was racing. If I don't seize this opportunity now, then I will remain as distant from her as I was in my past life. So I said with a smile, I want to make money too, if you don't mind. How about we become partners? We can start a business together and make money. Su Qingshui hesitated for a moment, then replied, okay. Hearing this response left me momentarily stunned. From what I know of Su Qingshui, there were countless rich second-generation heirs pursuing her in my past life. but she would rather hand out flyers in the sweltering heat of summer. She also has never had any flirtation with any boys. So she wouldn't partner with a guy just for money. To be a business partner with a guy. Therefore, I believe she should have feelings for me. This immediately made me feel vain. There's nothing I can do. Who told me I'm so handsome and charming? So far, the only women in my contacts, aside from family, have never turned me down. Su Qingxue looked at my smile, which had a somewhat lewd expression, and her face was filled with disdain. What are you laughing at? Hearing this, I quickly put away my lecherous smile. Have you thought about how to make money? However, Su Qingxue sighed and shook her head, indicating that she hadn't made up her mind yet. But I had already thought of many ways to make money in my mind. It is now 2010, and the era of the internet is about to arrive. As a person who has been reborn, am I still afraid I won't be able to make money? But I wouldn't be foolish enough to say it outright. Fishing requires patience. You have to take it slowly. Besides, the other party is someone like Su Qingxue, who is a self-proclaimed moonlight. I winked at Su Qingxue and joked, let's keep in touch more and think of ways to make money together. We'll keep the conversation going for 25 hours a day. What a bunch of nonsense. I really don't believe you can come up with any good ideas. During the 3 years of high school, what else are you good at besides fighting? I didn't rush to argue back, but instead smiled lightly. Not long after I parted ways with Su Qingxue, I opened my phone to prepare for various judgments. First, I explained everything to my family. Then it was the turn of my male classmates. But when it came to my good friend's girlfriend, I was completely stunned. Oh, Shen Jie. What do you mean by that? It wouldn't be good if Tianhao found out, right? This reply truly shocked me. However, I still have principles. So I replied, sorry, I sent this to the wrong person. Then came the junior girl who had a secret crush on me. There were only a few dozen replies in total. She sent 30 of them herself. Senior, are we not both pursuing each other? Do you finally understand my feelings? Darn it, I was ready to confess my feelings to you. But you beat me to it. Starting today, I am your girlfriend. Seeing these replies made my scalp tingle a bit. And Nan is a junior below me. She even sacrificed over 100 points to come to college with me. She purposely scored over 100 points less. Although I ended up dating her afterward. But one could also say I was forced into it. As my body gradually weakened, I really couldn't take it anymore and broke up with her. In this life, I don't want any more connections with her. So I sent her a reply as well. Sorry, I sent it to the wrong person. But just a few seconds after sending, and Nan called me. I heard a voice filled with disappointment on the line. Senior, are you joking with me? No, I really did send it to the wrong person. After saying that, I hung up the phone. I understand the principle of cutting through confusion quickly. Finally, it was my childhood friend Lin Xiao. She sent me a total of 3 messages. Chen Jie, please stop bullying me. Why aren't you replying? Are you angry? Don't be angry, I'll agree to it. After reading the messages, I was left speechless. Why do I feel like I'm forcing an innocent girl? The villain who agreed to be my girlfriend. Lin Xiao has a more introverted personality. It was obvious she was scared by the message content. This gave me a deep sense of guilt. I feel for her. I think it's better to explain in person. When I got home for dinner, my parents sat on the sofa with serious expressions. My mom saw me and scolded. Who are you bothering in the middle of the night? Your little aunt and cousin. They all received your confession texts. Even your homeroom teacher and the head teacher received them. I could only force out a smile and explained that I had too much to drink last night. It was an accident that I sent it to a group. My parents exchanged glances, then simultaneously looked speechless. Isn't our son a fool? He can send a confession to everyone. My dad was the first to realize what the problem was. Who were you planning to send it to? It was for Xiao, right? Xiao is indeed a good girl. But the college entrance exams are coming up soon. Are you acting too soon? That's right, it is too soon. At least wait until you've gotten into college. The two talked more passionately as they went on. I, feeling awkward, went to the kitchen to eat. My mom asked me to bring a bowl of chicken soup to Lin Xiao. After eating, I went to knock on the Lin family's door. After a while, Lin's mother opened the door. She looked surprised at the chicken soup in my hands. Auntie, my mom made some chicken soup. She asked me to bring it to you. Oh, your mom is really thoughtful. Lin's mother didn't decline. She took the chicken soup from my hands. Our families usually have a good relationship. After entering the living room, I asked, Auntie, where is Xiao? A look of concern appeared on Lin's mother's face. I don't know what's wrong with Xiao today. She's in a bad mood. My heart sank. It must be because of my text message. So I took out the exercise book I had prepared earlier. Auntie, I'll go check on Xiao, okay? I happen to have some questions I can't solve, so I'll ask her. Because I anticipated that it might not go smoothly. I might not see Lin Xiao that easily. So I kept it hidden. Then I strode toward Lin Xiao's room. Seeing this, Lin's mother hesitated to speak. She actually disapproved of my relationship with Lin Xiao. After all, I am known in this neighborhood as the notorious underachiever. Meanwhile, Lin Xiao was among the top students in school. But this time I was very well prepared. I grinned and said, Auntie, you should go rest. I'll take care of Xiao's emotions. Lin's mother watched me enter the room in speechless disbelief. I don't know why, but a woman's sixth sense told her that today, letting me into Xiao's room would definitely lead to regret in the future. As soon as I entered the room, I closed the door. A faint floral fragrance filled the air in the room. Lin Xiao looked at me with a slight blush on her cheeks. Seeing this familiar face, a feeling of being worlds apart suddenly surged in my heart. Some lost memories rushed back in an instant. Xiao Xiao was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in her second year of college. She passed away shortly after. I never had the courage to visit her at that time. This former childhood sweetheart. It wasn't until half a month after her death that I received the news. I remembered how I often teased her in middle school. Changes in the thyroid are mostly related to emotions. I don't know if I was a factor in any of this. Thinking of this, my expression gradually became serious. And at this moment, Xiao Xiao felt a bit nervous under my gaze. I took a deep breath. I gave her a bright smile. Long time no see. Xiao Xiao bit her lip. With her starry, peach blossom-like eyes, she looked a bit confused. Didn't we just see each other last week? Ha ha ha, is that so? I awkwardly scratched my head. I took the opportunity to sit beside her. I was ready to explain things to her thoroughly. The text message from today. Halfway through, I suddenly remembered. I'm still not sure if I'm reborn. Maybe it's just a dream. Or perhaps a life review before dying. So I suddenly had the idea to tease her a bit. We've played together since we were little. We can be considered childhood sweethearts. Upon hearing this, Lin Xiao Xiao slowly nodded her little head. Childhood sweethearts do things together that ordinary friends. It's perfectly normal not to do certain things. Like studying together or having meals together. Sending birthday wishes to each other. That makes sense. Lin Xiao Xiao nodded repeatedly. The corners of her delicate lips slightly lifted. Seeing this, I pressed my advantage. I suddenly grabbed her little hand. For example, holding hands or giving each other a peck. It's quite normal to have a child or something like that. Upon hearing my bold words, Lin Xiao Xiao's delicate body suddenly trembled. Her face turned bright red. She looked in disbelief at our hands stacked together. With a choked voice, she said, "MMY mom doesn't let me date." I looked at the flustered girl in front of me. I couldn't help but laugh. This statement is quite intriguing. It's not that she doesn't want to, it's her mom who doesn't allow it. But thinking about Lin Xiao Xiao's feelings, there might be some issues. She, who was already introverted, had already shown signs of depression. I need to figure out what happened in these past few years. What has been going on around her? So I decided not to pressure her anymore. I squeezed her delicate little hand and then let go. Lin Xiao Xiao looked like a startled rabbit, hurriedly pulling her hand back. Her shy and timid expression stirred my emotions. How did I not notice in my past life that there was such a good childhood friend? I held back my inner impulse. I gently rubbed her little head. "Xiao Xiao, I was just joking, let's study." Upon hearing this, Lin Xiao Xiao finally relaxed. She obediently nodded. Lin Xiao Xiao studies liberal arts while I am a science student. We have common interests. It's just language, math, and English. She quickly got into the groove. She sat upright and straight. Her slender fingers held the pen. She was focused on calculating something on the draft paper. I watched her for a while, before finally looking away from her. Then I looked at the questions in the exercise book. Divide the long segment into 3 parts. These 3 segments can form. What is the probability of forming a triangle? The moment I saw the question, a number popped into my mind, followed by the analysis of this problem. This question has nothing to do with the length of the segments, even if it's a line segment that spans 100 light years. The answer is still 14. What the heck does it mean? I quickly moved on to another problem. As soon as I saw the question, the answer instantly appeared in my mind. Am I cheating? Could it be that I can solve the problems I see? Sure enough, reincarnators have their own cheat codes. Ha ha ha, this is awesome. I excitedly rubbed my hands and looked at Lin Xiao Xiao. "Xiao Xiao, can you lend me a pen?" Lin Xiao Xiao nodded. She dug out a carbon pen from her pencil case and handed it to me. I took the pen. I quickly wrote a line of text in the air. How to prove the Goldbach conjecture. Several seconds passed. My brain didn't react at all. Come on, brain, give me a break here. How can you not solve such a simple problem? Reluctantly, I continued flipping through the exercise book, experimenting. Lin Xiao Xiao next to me blinked her big eyes. Her small face was filled with confusion. What kind of learning method is this? And what is the Goldbach theorem? After a few minutes, the anxious heart finally settled down. I figured out the situation. I indeed have a special ability to extract memories. As long as it's a question I solved in my past life. Even if I just glanced at the answer. The moment I saw the question, I can instantly recall it. But if it's a question I've never seen before, it's useless. After doing the exercise book for another half hour, my interest in solving problems quickly faded. I let out a big yawn and stretched. I said to Lin Xiao Xiao, "I'm going back now. Take care of yourself and don't get sick." Upon hearing this, Lin Xiao Xiao nodded reluctantly. "Bye, be safe." The next morning, it was just past 6 and the sky was already bright. After starting college, I became a typical shut-in. As long as I don't starve, I won't go downstairs at all. Lumbar muscle strain, cervical spondylosis, chronic gastritis. There was hardly any good part in my whole body. Later, I sought treatment from an old Chinese doctor for a long time. Only then did I recover. Now, living a second life, I plan to get my body in shape ahead of time. After just a few steps of running, I saw a familiar figure. I quickened my pace to catch up. "Good morning, class monitor. Chen Jie. Why did you come so early?" As I got closer, I saw her 2 eyes. They no longer had their usual brightness. They were full of bloodshot veins with faint dark circles. "What happened to you? Did you overdo the self-rewarding?" Su Qingxue blinked her big eyes in confusion and shook her head repeatedly. "What self-reward? I'm fine." Then, Su Qingxue and I started running side by side. "Why did you suddenly start jogging in the morning?" I didn't expect her to glare at me fiercely. "HMPH, what's it to you?" I blinked in confusion. Sometimes, I really can't understand the way women's minds work. I showed some concern and ended up getting stared at. Maybe this is what they call sunere. The summer morning breeze blew through the flowers and grass. It floated gently, releasing a faint fragrance of flowers and grass. I leisurely followed behind Su Qingshui, watching her ponytail bounce as she moved. It swayed and danced. Half an hour later, Su Qingshui was already panting heavily from running. Her face was flushed, and she bent over with her hands on her knees. She glared at me with a look of reluctance. I was speechless, thinking, what are you staring at? I know your eyes are beautiful. But at this moment, I felt a bit dazed. The girl's eyes were as enchanting as the stars. Especially when she was glaring at someone. The corners of her eyes would slightly lift. There was something captivating about it. After she regained some strength, I asked with a smile, class monitor, where's your goddess image? This is just how I am, what's wrong with that? If you can't run anymore, just stop early. I know you're competitive, but what are you trying to prove? Isn't the guy's stamina generally stronger than that of girls? Su Qingshui huffed lightly, displeased, and pouted. She seemed to have accepted this fact. I have to say, Su Qingshui is really beautiful. Especially after exercising, her face is flushed. Her rosy and alluring appearance attracted the attention of many boys. They cast subtle glances her way. These people thought they were hiding it well. In fact, girls are very sensitive to gazes. Su Qingshui frowned slightly. She brushed back her hair from her forehead. Her hair was sticking together with fine sweat. She planned to go home. I walked outside the school with her. Have you eaten breakfast? No. No. Then let's eat. No need. I'm just inviting you for soybean milk. Consider it a celebration for our enjoyable collaboration. Upon hearing this, Su Qing responded. She agreed to go eat breakfast with me. I took Su Qingshui to a soybean milk stand in front of the school. We sat down at a soybean milk stall. We ordered 2 cups of soybean milk and 2 sticks of fried dough. It was served in no time. I quickly finished the soybean milk and fried dough. Then I started to observe Su Qingshui's eating posture. What are you looking at? Looking at you. Upon hearing this, Su Qingshui's face turned red instantly. Even the roots of her ears turned bright red. She put on a serious face and lowered her voice. Chen Jie, we are just classmates. If you keep saying that, I'm going to get angry. Looking at her slightly shy face, I smiled dismissively. You have to listen to Sunere words in reverse. When she says she's going to get angry, she actually wants to hear more. We are not just classmates. We're still just deskmates or partners. Either way, it's much closer than just being classmates. It's just slightly more intimate classmates. It's still a classmate relationship. Anyway, you can't do anything out of line. Fine, we're just a little bit close. Aren't you tired of acting like this every day? It's none of your business. Su Qingshui exclaimed playfully. Not paying attention, her voice got a bit loud. A few students in school uniforms turned to look. She quickly concealed the expression on her pretty face. When the gazes disappeared, she continued to glare at me fiercely. You're not allowed to tell anyone. And you can't say things that might be misunderstood anymore. Otherwise, I won't talk to you. The girl's threat had no deterrent effect at all. I said with a smile. Alright, of course, I won't tell anyone. Who would know that the seemingly composed and quiet class president has such a hidden side behind her back? Suddenly, I felt a pain coming from my knee. I got kicked in the knee. I winced in pain and said, don't worry, this side of you that no one knows. Only I need to know about it. Su Qingshui let out a light hum, as if she had won. She proudly tilted her delicate chin up. In the next moment, she seemed to think of something and her face turned completely red. The way she looks now is no different from a young couple. What's the difference between flirting and teasing? Then she cleared her throat lightly. Chen Jie, I want to lay down 3 rules with you. At school, we cannot mention that we are partners. No problem. Seeing her serious expression, I agreed. I can actually tell. Su Qingshui has a bit of a crush on me. But it's clearly not enough to take things further. She has a thin skin and is a bit sunere. At this moment, if others say a few words, she would easily revert our relationship back to being just ordinary classmates. Take it slow, no rush. After breakfast, Su Qingshui wiped her mouth with a tissue. She tilted her neck and glared at me again. Only then did she stride home proudly. Her ponytail swayed behind her. She gradually disappeared into the crowd. I smiled faintly and walked home as well. After walking a few steps, I saw a familiar figure. Lin Xiaoxiao was pushing a women's bicycle. She was wearing a black and white school uniform. Her frail body seemed a bit unable to hold up the loose fit. The uniform of experimental high school was obviously different from that of number 1 high school. Her figure stood out among the many students from number 1 high school. Xiaoxiao. Hearing the voice, Lin Xiaoxiao looked over. Her peach blossom eyes brightened. Are you having breakfast? Yeah, sure. Lin Xiaoxiao nodded her little head. So I sat with Lin Xiaoxiao in the same spot as before. The stool was still warm. I casually called out to the vendor uncle. Uncle, 2 cups of soy milk and 2 fried dough sticks, please. Alright. The soy milk uncle instinctively replied. Then he looked at me in surprise and rubbed his eyes, as if trying to confirm he wasn't mistaken about who I was. I remained calm and composed without changing my expression. It's just a small matter, no problem. Just a few minutes. The uncle, with a blank expression, brought over the fried dough sticks and soy milk. It's a bit hot, let me cool it down for you. He handed it to Lin Xiaoxiao only after it cooled down a bit. Lin Xiaoxiao's face was blushing. She lowered her head and obediently took small bites. Her eating posture wasn't as elegant as Su Qingshui's, but she also took small bites. Each bite left delicate little impressions. It looked just like a little rabbit nibbling on vegetables. Just a minute. I again effortlessly finished a serving of breakfast. So I started doing the same thing as before, staring at the girl in front of me. Lin Xiaoxiao clearly wouldn't glare back like Su Qingxue. However, her cute face was getting redder. Her little head was lowering more and more, almost buried in her school uniform. I satisfied my eyes and grinned. Just give me the keys. I prepared lunch early this afternoon. No need, I can make it myself. Her attitude was so resolute that it gave me a headache. Lin Xiaoxiao looked soft and gentle, but she was really hard to convince. Then my brain worked at lightning speed, and I thought of a good idea. Can I have the food you make? I heard your cooking skills are great, I've been wanting to try it. First, give me the keys and I'll help you wash some vegetables. Okay, sure. This time, Lin Xiaoxiao nodded without any hesitation. A small hand took out a key for the security door. Her decisive action surprised me a bit. I took the key and put it in my pants pocket. Then I couldn't help but think for a moment. If her mom found out, she would probably go crazy. Sorry, your little cotton jacket has a draft. I accompanied Lin Xiaoxiao to finish her breakfast. She had to hurry to school. The distance between experimental middle school and number 1 high school is quite far. It takes about 20 minutes by bike. I gazed at her silhouette. I was already looking forward to today's lunch. Just as I was about to turn and head home, suddenly a cold female voice echoed behind me. Senior, who was that girl just now? The voice was too familiar. It felt like I triggered a muscle reaction. My body trembled suddenly, frozen in place. Without hesitation, I walked directly towards home. Senior, wait for me. A girl jogged a few steps. She quickly arrived in front of me. I took a deep breath and put on a surprised expression. And Nan, what coincidence to see you here. Senior, you clearly saw me. And Nan pouted in dissatisfaction. Her eyes were quite resentful, and her tone was a bit sulky. The soy milk vendor next to us was greatly shocked. Are young people today so extravagant in their play? What great girls they are. Why would they be interested in just one handsome guy?